So are you in one relationship right now, or you're open?
What do you mean? Like one, like
because you're your youngest children's mom.
yeah.
That's your girl.
My youngest child? Nah. Like again, I have no idea of possession when it comes
Okay.
to relationships. I operate in a way to where my children are my number one priority.
Okay.
And I am involved with
All of them.
not all of the mothers, because some of them like got their own relationships and do like it's like I said, it's an individual thing.
Okay.
And I personally choose to not define it in that setting because I know it's always changing. It's always growing. Like I'm not thinking about like, oh, this is my woman and this is my like it's like
Yeah.
nah, right now we are parents raising children that often romantically involved and intimate
Yeah.
and I value when somebody is dedicating their time and energy to me and I do that,
Yeah.
you know, to the best of my ability.
So
in
what
the
if one
process.
day one of them value marriage? They're
I
like,
I would celebrate it. I'll be right there and be like, look, this is what they want.
but it can't be with you.
Yeah, nah. I don't.
You've evolved past marriage.
Yeah, I don't know. That concept was all I struggled with that. You know, even before I got married. When I got married, I feel like we did it very successful because we were on the same page. And then when that season was over, I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna do that again.
You're never gonna get married.
I don't like. Why do people desire marriage so much?
I think, first of all,
Y'all just want that contract?
no, I think first, I don't think people that don't know God should get married. Because honestly, I feel like
that's a heavy statement.
I do. I really do. Because otherwise, how do two become one?
Mm.
It's just two people
But what
getting
about
married.
the people like maybe they don't have that upbringing or that spiritual foundation to even understand what God
It's
is?
two people getting married. It's two people walking down
Signing
the
a
aisle. It's two
contract.
people.
It's
That's
a
different to
ceremony.
me.
It's a ritual.
Which I agree. And I feel like that's a business partner that you get to have sex with. That's what I feel like. Or that's a person, that's a companion that you get to see all the time. That marriage to me doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
In the sense of how I see marriage. Like it could be amazing and it could be beautiful and it could be,
Yeah.
it could teach you lessons, but like, do you really go to the depths in that kind of marriage?
So as a grown woman,
Yeah.
what is, because you've accomplished so much, you've done so much. What is the purpose of marriage for you?
I personally don't think, like, be a God, right? Because I know I'm a wife, even though I'm unmarried. I personally think that I cannot experience my greatest levels of trust without being a wife, because now there's another man that has leadership over it.
All right. Darwin, you there? Go ahead and answer this next question then to the panel. If marriage is just a contract, what makes it different from any other partnership in life? And is that difference still worth protecting?
There's no other partnership where you essentially have the ideology that the two people will become one and move in unison and be dependent upon each other. A business relationship, most times you expect for them to dissolve at some point. It's kind of baked in with how you structure your deal that it's going to dissolve at one point. With regular relationships, minus kids, it's fun and the responsibility is not really there, right? You can, in a co-parenting situation where you live together in this relationship, this co-parent, I think that's the closest to a marriage in all the relationship form types. And you might as well go get married if you're gonna do all that. Because I don't, what is the escape hatch for? You gonna get mad and leave your kids? I really don't understand it, but to each his own, I guess. I don't think it's just a contract. I think it's a way of life and a way of being when you expect to be there. I think people, the permanency of a life choice like marriage, I think may scare some people because they want to make sure they have an escape hatch, and they treat it with more deference and respect than they do having children. And to me, that's wild, because you should be able to get divorced if something goes wrong, but you shouldn't be able to leave your kids. I don't know. To me, that just sounds crazy. And I think it's hard to put your kids first if you refuse to try and be there for them consistently. But that's my opinion on that.
All right, I'm gonna go to you, Dara. That first question: what is the value in marriage? And then you can transition to this question if you want.
You said, what is the value in marriage?
Yes, sir.
I mean, aside from, okay, so for me personally, I believe in principles. So I have I have principles that are connected with the word of God. So I have value in being married in that kind of way. And I know a lot of people who also follow the word do. So that could be one. There's legal benefits that come from marriage. That's valuable. If draw a parallel to a relationship between just a man and a woman. So, and what was the other question you said? If marriage is just a contract, what makes it different from it?
Mm-hmm.
If marriage is just a contract, what makes it different from any other partnership in life? Well, I don't believe it's just a contract. And what I think it does is it's just, aside from the spiritual side, or just making sure because if you believe what I believe, it's your salvation is on the line. If you're out here just busting chicks down and not really, especially if you have the opportunity to find a wife. But I've been learning a lot about how society been moving, man, and it's just, I wholeheartedly believe God can see what we see out here with how marriage has been tainted, or the whole covenant has just been pretty much destroyed. Like the mindset that people have going into relationships and marriages, it doesn't represent what God originally wanted to represent. So I don't even care if you're trying to call yourself doing it right or trying to protect your salvation and saying that, hey, look, I don't want to be fornicating. If it's not set up to where the man is the head of the household and have the authority and the woman is the helper, it really doesn't matter. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people who decide not to get married, looking from the outside in, they don't recognize the marriage as something that's true. People are saying that people are wearing rings, they have a contract, but it's just not recognized as a real marriage because of how the foundation of it, the way it's structured. It's not original. You get what I'm saying? So it's almost like looking at a pair of fake Jordans. That might be a bad analogy, but that's just something that came to my head. But yeah, man, if you can't do it right, I don't knock any brother in 2025 that says, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? These women are not virgins. They're not coming into the relationships with their mind right. They don't even look at submission. They look at submission as something toxic. They don't even look at male authority or masculinity as anything positive. There's an attack on it. And in order for you to do that as a woman, you literally have to detach yourself from God. It doesn't, and I know they got this term called Christian feminism. I think it's just a huge contradiction. It just don't work. So I don't knock any man that says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep my peace and do my thing and pray on it. I think God can understand man in this situation and be like, you know what, son? I see what you're dealing with. I see all the laws are just the society's just turned into Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what? I don't blame you. And I'm gonna cover you with my grace. That's what I believe God is doing right now.
You know what the women gonna say? Well, didn't God have what's the man named Mary, prostitute, or Mary? I'm just saying they gonna find a way to get around that. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that a lot of things is just out of order. I do talk to, I have male friends in their 60s who some been married 25, 30 years, divorced, some been married 2-3 times, and none of them want to remarry. They say they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. It's not saying they were perfect beings and stuff, but it's always one-sided. So I hear, you know what I hear? I hear every woman on the planet is a good woman. That's what I hear. There ain't no sluts out here. There ain't no women that's cheating on their husbands out here. There ain't none of that out here. These women just good women. They're queens. But I just posted a stat where most men who are cheated on don't even leave the marriage. It's like, but most women do. Like men stay for the legacy, the children, um, the finances. I just posted that. I just did a whole breakdown on it. And so that's gonna hurt. This is why first marriages have a 41% divorce rate, second marriages have a 63% divorce rate, and third marriages have a 73% divorce rate. You have the best chance to stay married the first time. I don't have a 60% success rate. So we can get that little 40% to choose right, we can increase that number because you got a lot of broken people out here constantly getting married over again. And I can tell that most us women, it is what it is. We're not looking at ourselves in the mirror and really saying, you know what? I got to get myself right. I'm really screwing my life over. I don't hear no woman say I ain't sugar honey iced tea. I have not heard too many women that say that. They all think they queens and the men is bad and there's a reason why I don't stay married. Because I mean the stuff that I hear is freaking insane. Nobody wants to be, I'm just saying, nobody want to cave in. And I'm just sorry, we women, we're very extremely stubborn. We gotta give in at some point. Men don't change. One thing I've noticed, just seeing sons and just men, they don't change. Men have always been simple. I don't see them. They have. We all over the place. Then we gotta go through menopause. Good God Almighty, Lord have mercy. I'll just say. So, yeah, I just want to lay in there and let y'all have at it.
Miss Butterfly, what you thinking over there about what Dr. Lady O and Darwin had to say? Do you agree? How you align with their perspectives when it comes to where we are when it comes to marriage today?
You know, people, there's so many, I think, different, I don't know. It's like everybody, I guess, whatever it means to each individual person. And you need to find somebody who's aligned with what you think a marriage is. I know someone, they had the ceremony and they live together and have 3 kids, and I guess she does her thing and he does his thing, but they're there for the kids, but they're not married, so they say, but they went through, had this ceremony. Everybody, their whole entire family thinks that they're married. Everybody, kids think that they're married. So I don't know. I guess that looks different to them. Everything is different to everybody. I don't know. I guess there is no one way